We're here with our Black Angus herd, and this morning we're going to be rotating this herd to our south pastures and then rotating our commercial herd up to our cattle pens. That way we can get them vaccinated and weaned and everything like that. But this is the hard part, getting these guys rotated and pulling them all up. And the way we do that is bags of feed, and we honk the horn, and then I'll hop on the four-wheeler a little bit after and chase the little calves through the gate. So the best way to rotate these guys is honking the horn on the truck, gathering them all around the truck, and then just slowly driving through the gate and pouring feed on the other side of the gate over here in our south pastures. And they tend to follow through. Looks like I got a bunch of cows over on that side over there. So it's gonna take a little bit to get these guys rotated, but should be all right. It is a beautiful day out here, 55 degrees, and not a single cloud in sight. So we're just driving through the pasture here, trying to get these little stragglers. These are the guys that give us an issue with the rotating. Little itty bitty ones, the ones we tagged earlier last week. But with a little enticement and a little chase, they follow. All I gotta do is sit here and honk the horn and drive through gates and hope they follow. As you can see, it's slowly but surely working. They're making their way over to me. They stop and feed or graze. It takes them a little bit. It's just hurry up and wait game for these guys, but eventually we'll get all of them gathered up, and then I'll slowly start driving south and they follow, especially when they see the bags of feed in the back of the truck. Man, I tell you what, we must have the world's biggest mosquitoes out here. They are killer. Everywhere you go, you can see them flying around. They are killer out here. All right, so I got all of them except for two little stragglers. I'm waiting for them. Just give it a little bit. They just started walking. They were just standing there waiting to crawl through the fence instead of going through the gate, but they saw that last group of cows right there go through the gate over there. So once those guys get a little closer, I'm gonna drive up and around, and all of these guys will follow me. And actually, I got one big cow way off in the distance over there. Don't know if you guys can see her, but I just saw her coming out of the woodworks. So now I have to wait. I'm gonna get back in the truck and honk a little bit and see if any more come running back out, but should be all right. When I have stragglers, I will chase them on the four-wheeler through their gate over there. Now there is a gate way over there, but I hate using that gate because there's a big puddle in front of it. So the most ideal gate is over this way, but if I can't get them all through that gate, I will utilize that gate over there. Not a big deal, it just makes my life easier when they're all grouped up and follow each other. Well, my plan got kind of screwed up. I had to just drive through this gate right here. Now we're in the south pastures, but I had to drive through there because these cows and that one calf were already on this side of the fence. I'm not sure if a gate down there got left open by one of the hunters or one of the other people that have access to these gates, but that's a long ongoing issue I have out at this ranch. This is all public land that we lease, and people constantly leave our gates open, so I have to worry about cows getting out and everything like that. But I mean, you got to take what you can get and kind of just work with what you have. But as you can see, these guys are just going to come through. I'll pour feed out and then drive all the way around and push these guys up back through this gate. But I think if I just pour some feed and leave this gate open for the morning, all of them will eventually walk through this gate, and it'll make my life a lot easier, especially because I don't want to keep getting out here. I mean, you can't really tell, but on these guys, those are not flies on these cows. Those are all mosquitoes, and they are horrible. So I got to get some fly mosquito spray for these guys next time I head over to the Tractor Supply. This is my favorite cow. She has no tags, but I know her tag number is 1107, and she'll go right into the truck and rip the feed right out. Come on. And then she throws a fit when I walk over here and block her from getting in the truck. As you can see, they're slowly but surely starting to come through, which is good. But I'll have to loop back around once I pour some feed and get the stragglers. I have to pour feed for these guys because if not, they'll just follow the truck wherever it goes, which is a good thing, but frustrating when you're trying to rotate with the truck. I could still see some far on the other pasture over there, but they have to walk all the way around and through that first gate I was showing you guys. But she'll get there eventually, and we'll get them all over here. Now these cows have been off of this pasture for a long time now, so they're really interested in the grass as well as the feed, so that's helping me out a little bit. As you can see, they're kind of just wandering, and they'll stop to graze. But I'll feed them. We have some feed troughs up over here underneath that big oak tree. I'll eventually drive over there and pour some feed so they stop following me around. But so far so good with this rotation. It just takes a little bit of time and knowing how to get the cows from one spot to another. So I stopped up here at the feed troughs, poured out some feed, and I know there's a gate left open over there because I just saw probably about another 10 to 15 cows running over this in this direction because they know where they get fed. And now the plan is I'm going to take the truck, drive all the way around, and push the rest of the cattle that were up by the cattle pens up through this gate over here, and that'll push the cows that are over on those other pastures over this way, because I know that there's feed over here now. As long as these guys keep mooing, they know to keep coming because there's food. And that way I can get all the stragglers, and I know if there's a cow standing at a gate or a fence line that she more than likely has a calf, so I'll have to go find that calf for her, push that calf up, and then she'll come through the gate. But looks like we caught a good amount of the calves, so I don't really have to worry about finding too many of them. Hopefully I don't have to find any. Hopefully they just followed their mamas in through here, but we'll see. And wasn't too bad this morning. There's one of the calves I just tagged, looking good, running around. All right, so driving back through that gate, I see one cow and two little baby calves that were born in the last couple weeks. They don't really know their direction around here, so I'm hoping that they see that mama cow and just follow her through the gate. And I'm just gonna slowly follow these guys and hope they don't run into the woods. It's a nightmare when they do that. So we're just putting a little bit of pressure on them, that way they walk a little faster. Seems to me like they're gonna walk through, hopefully. Sometimes they like to run off to the woods off to our left here. Stop. See, they go off to the left, so I'm gonna have to get out and persuade them to go to the right. All right, I had to get my running boots on and chase them through. The one just ran right underneath the fence post over there. And the other one ran right through the gate, but they'll hear their mom's calling. She hears, that's probably her mama coming right there. That's why she turned around so quick. They're bellowing at each other. Her mama's starting to run. That's a good sign. That's the hardest part about that is the hardest part about rotating cattle, is separating the mamas from the calves. Because a lot of the times, if we don't get the calves on the right side of the fence, the calves won't crawl through the fence. The mamas will crawl through it and mess the fence up. You see him? That little one wants to be with a pair, so it's running over to be with that one there. But once that mama comes through the gate, she's gonna run back over there where the feed is. And then I'll make my rounds and make sure that that gate over there, way over there, is closed and we don't have any issues. So those calves are gonna continue to walk down the gate. I had to drive through so that mama cow would come over here in hopes that these guys turn around and go that way. And she sees me, so she's hollering at me. There they go. They start to turn around. Well, I'm headed back over to the barn now. I'm gonna get the four-wheeler to go check that gate over there. It's still pretty wet out here from cold fronts and the rain, so I don't want to get the truck stuck. The truck only has street tires on it, so won't get very far in a muddy pasture. So I'm gonna go grab the four-wheeler, go check that gate, and then go make my rounds and make sure there's no stragglers. And once there's no stragglers, I will open up the gate for the commercial cows, and they'll just walk right through because they're tired of being up in that first pasture there. But so far so good, and hopefully there's not too many stragglers left behind. Well, I lied. I'm not gonna go get the four-wheeler because I saw these two cows over here and they were booking it for that gate over there, which is over by the pole barn. There is a gate, there's a four-way up over here on the other side of these trees. I'm gonna try and get these cows to follow me through there so we don't have to go all the way around. And I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope it's not too muddy for the truck to get through there. If so, I'll be in a little bit of trouble, but we'll cross that bridge if it comes. Right now, I just wanna get these two cows over there, and I think these are the only two stragglers I have, so you see they're starting to walk back over. But we'll get them back over to the other herd, and then we'll go do the drive around. All right, the worst part about rotating is these little guys that are asleep when you drive up on them and they don't know what's going on. They don't know which direction their mamas went in. So I'm gonna try and push them in that direction and hope they hear them. But there's three of them, so they're gonna scatter. So I just really gotta take my time with it, or I leave them and come back later on today and hopes they traveled in the direction of their mothers. But I'm gonna try and push them in that area and hope they hear them, but we'll see how that goes. It doesn't always go too well. So what I'm trying to do here is push these guys. Where we just saw those two cows was right up here. So I'm trying to push them up till they see those two big cows without pushing them into the woods right here or having them run off into the wetlands. There's a little pond over there. I don't want them running into that because I'll never get them out of there. But just gonna keep putting a little bit of pressure on them, making them walk, and in hopes those two cows actually didn't follow me around. But they are bellowing, so maybe a mama cow will hear them and come running around the corner. We'll see how it goes, and I'm also not trying to get the truck stuck. It's very muddy in this pasture, but kind of got to do what I got to do. We'll see what happens. So I'm just giving them time, letting them walk. and staying on their right side so they don't run off into the woods over here. They are walking, they are calling, so should be all right. It is going to take some time to get them where I need them to go, but it is what it is. They just don't know which direction the herd went, so they're looking and calling out. Well, I pushed them up with this with these two cows, and I had one calf lay down. Oh, just stood back up. Now he's calling. But I'm gonna just continue to drive through where I already came and hope they walk through the gate. If not, I'm gonna have to hand rope these guys and throw them in the back of the truck, I guess. That's really the only way to get these little ones back over with their mamas. So I went ahead and grabbed the four-wheeler. I can move around a lot easier on it. I got these guys to start walking down a fence line. And there's a gate right in front of these cows that I gotta swing around and go open. So that way they'll go through it. All right, so those cows are running back up the opposite direction I want them to go. So I'm gonna have to speed back to the truck, get a feed bag, and pour it on the other side of the gate over there, because they saw somebody over here, so they think that they're pouring feed over there. So I'm gonna go get a bag of feed. Hopefully these calves just keep walking in that direction. Hopefully these cows stay over here. Well, I got those 4 calves on this side of the fence in the same pasture as the rest of the cows. I did pour some feed to drag them over here. Poured it down right there. That way they're closer. The calves will hear them better. They'll come running over this way instead of crawling through on the other side of the fence. As of those 2 cows, let's pour this out before I get attacked for feed. As of those 2 other cows, I gave up on them. I got one right to the gate and then she ran off into the woods. They might have calves laid up somewhere. So I'm not gonna break my back on that. But if I do see them with calves over in the other pasture with the commercial cows, I will pin them up, load them up on the trailer, and then drive the trailer over into this pasture and get them in that way. It'll be a lot easier than trying to chase them through. It's so difficult just because it's one person out here with all these cows trying to get them rotated. But I got 99% of them. As of those calves, they're either gonna crawl through and then crawl back over, or they're gonna wander back over here because they hear these guys over here. But that other mama cow, she's off in the woods over here, and that other cow walked all the way to where the pole barn is. But I'm not gonna waste all day on that. And as far as the commercial cows go, I just gotta open the gate and they'll come running through it. So I just gotta shut this gate over here, go shut that gate off way over there. Someone left it open, and then I'll be done out here for the day. Well, I wish both herds were this easy to rotate. All I had to do was open that gate over there and pour them some feed, and they all came running. So rotation's done for the day. I'll probably leave that gate open for a little bit because there is some stragglers. There's one in the food plot over here. I got to get him out of there. And then there's a few calves that are still laying down on the ground over there. So I'll probably push them through the gate and then either leave it open for the rest of the day or close it. But my big plan for that, maybe I'll tell you guys that another time. maybe I'll drive over there and show you. Haven't really decided yet. But that Angus cow that gave me such a hard time is walking all the way back over there because she realized her calf wasn't over here. So now I gotta go open that gate over there, push her through, and then I'll be all set. Alrighty, got the rotation done. I went ahead and I closed this gate. Whole reason for rotating in the first place was to get our Angus cows vaccinated for the season. These guys are next. I'm gonna get that done in the next few weeks, but they graze this down pretty good. So I'm gonna shut this gate and leave it closed. That way I can let this pasture grow out. Ultimately, I'm going to be saving this pasture over the next few months, probably 5-6 months, whatever, and then I'm going to rotate the Angus herd into here. That way it is easier for me to catch and tag and keep track of the mama cows to the calves, and that way I can get them registered and everything like that in a timely fashion. We haven't been doing that the last few years. It's been kind of a crazy program, but trying to get organized here, and this is a start to it. So as long as we keep it organized and keep everything together, we should be all right. But this pasture's gonna grow. I've got to get the big tractor back out here. That is actually out at the farm. Gonna mow out there one more time where the bulls are, and then bring that back here, let this grow up, and get much needed mowing done out there, because the tractor hasn't been here for a month and a half or so. But I look forward to the next steps of this, and hopefully we can keep it organized, and hopefully it goes as well as I think it's going to. But you know, we all know that nothing ever goes as planned, so we'll see how it goes in the long run, and I look forward to having you guys come along with me.